Are you an architecture student and still confused what to do after architecture? But I can tell you how to become job ready before graduation. Hi, I'm architect Moksha Bhatia and you're watching Urbanism Spinning. A lot of students feel completely lost after doing architecture. This happened with me too, because I didn't know how to survive the real architecture world. We know as students how to create presentations, how to create conceptual projects, but we don't know about the materials, about the construction. So this is where every student gets lost. A lot of architecture students graduate after 5 years of intense education and still don't feel ready for the profession. They know how to create presentation sheets, they know how to survive juries and deadlines, they know how to design conceptual projects, but the moment they step into a real architecture office, many suddenly feel completely lost. And honestly, this is more common than people admit. Because architecture school teaches many important things, but it often does not fully prepare students for professional reality. Now, this video is not about criticizing architecture education. Architecture school gives students an important foundation in design thinking and creativity. But if you truly want to become job ready before graduation, you need to understand something very important. You cannot depend only on college to prepare you for the profession. The students who grow the fastest in architecture are usually not the students with the most talent. They are the students who start preparing intentionally before entering the industry. So today I'm going to tell you how to become job ready before graduation. I hope these tips helps you and may you apply in your real life. And let me know in the comment section what you like about this video. But before that, watch the video till the end and it's really going to help you. So number 1, understanding construction, not just design. One of the biggest mistakes architecture students make in treating architecture like it is only a design profession. But architecture is not just about creating beautiful concepts or visually impressive forms. At the end of the day, architecture is about turning ideas into something that can actually be built in real world. A lot of students spend years designing interesting concepts but still struggle to understand how buildings actually come together. They may not fully understand waterproofing systems, construction joints, material behavior, site execution, or how different building components connect with each other during construction. And this becomes very obvious when they enter professional practice. Architecture firms value students who can think practically because practical architects solve problems faster. A student who understands execution already has an advantage over someone who only focuses on conceptual thinking. This is why learning construction basics before graduation is extremely important. Do not just draw walls in your projects. Try to understand how walls are constructed. Understand how layers work together. Learn how finishes are applied. Learn how slabs connect to beams. Observe how services move through buildings. Once you begin understanding construction deeply, your entire approach to design starts changing. You begin designing more realistically, more intelligently, and with much stronger technical confidence. And honestly, this is one of the biggest differences between architecture students and job-ready young architects. Number 2, improving software skills intelligently. Now let's talk about software skills because this is another area where many students misunderstand something important. Knowing architecture software is important, but basic software knowledge is no longer enough. Today, almost every architecture student knows some CAD, SketchUp or Photoshop. So simply knowing the basics does not automatically make someone stand out anymore. The students who become job ready early usually learn software more deeply and professionally. Instead of trying to learn 10 different softwares at a surface level, focus on mastering a few important tools properly. Learn how professionals actually use them in real projects. Understand workflow efficiency. Learn drawing standards. Learn BIM thinking if you are using Revit. Improve your presentation quality in Photoshop. Learn how to organize files professionally. But at the same time, remember something very important. Software is only a tool. Good software skills cannot replace weak thinking. A person can create beautiful renders and still struggle to solve real architecture problems. So, while improving software skills, continue developing your design thinking and technical understanding alongside it. The strongest students are usually the one who combine creativity, technical thinking, and professional software skills together. Number 3. Building a real portfolio. Your portfolio is one of the most important things you will create before graduation. Because before firms meet you, your portfolio introduces you first. And this is exactly where many students make a mistake. A lot of architecture portfolios focus too much on aesthetics and not enough on thinking. Beautiful sheets alone are not enough anymore. When architecture firms review portfolios, they are not only asking whether a student can create attractive presentations, they are trying to understand how that student thinks. Can this student solve problems? Can this student communicate ideas clearly? Does this student understand technical thinking? Does this student have depth? This is why your portfolio should show more than final renders. Show your process, show your sketches, show iterations, show technical details, show how you arrived at decisions, show side understanding, show material thinking. A strong portfolio feels intelligent, not just visually attractive. And honestly, a thoughtful portfolio can completely change the way firms perceive a student before the interview even begins. Number 4. Why site exposure changes architects completely. If possible, start visiting construction sites before graduation. Honestly, site exposure changes architects completely. When you know only design on screens, architecture can sometimes feel theoretical. But construction sites force you to confront reality. You begin understanding dimensions differently. You notice execution challenges. You understand why certain details fail. You observe material behavior in real conditions. You start understanding the complexity of coordination between drawings and execution. And slowly, something very important happens. You stop designing unrealistic things just because they look good visually. Site visits make architects think more responsibly. They also build confidence. Students who understand site conditions speak differently during internships and interviews. They sound more grounded because they understand how architecture behaves beyond drawings. Even simple site visits can teach lessons that classrooms sometimes cannot fully explain. Number 5, and this is very important, communication skills are deeply underrated. One of the most underrated skills in architecture is communication. A lot of talented students struggle professionally because they cannot explain their designs clearly. But architecture is a profession built around communication. Architects constantly communicate with clients, consultants, contractors, teams, workers, and juries. And if communication is weak, even strong ideas lose impact. This is why architecture students should start improving communication skills early. Learn how to present clearly. Learn how to explain ideas simply. Learn how to speak with confidence. Learn how to structure thoughts properly. Confidence matters in professional environments because opportunities often come to people who can communicate their value effectively. And honestly, communication is one of the skills that separates good architects from influential architects. Last and again very important, taking internships seriously. Now let's talk about internships because this is extremely important. A lot of students choose internships based only on comfort, convenience, or brand names. But smart students choose internship based on learning opportunities. Before joining on internship, ask yourself something honestly. Will this place actually help me grow? Will I learn drawings? Will I understand coordination? Will I get side exposure? Will I understand professional workflow? Sometimes the internships that challenge you the most are the ones that teach you the most. And this is important because internships are often the first real exposure students get to professional reality. If you use internships seriously, they can accelerate your growth massively before graduation. And now, time for the truth. The students who succeed fastest in architecture are not always the most talented. They are usually the most prepared. They learn beyond college, they stay curious, they observe deeply, they understand reality early, and they take responsibility for their own professional growth. So stop waiting for architecture school alone to make you ready. Start building your future intentionally Because the earlier you prepare yourself for the realities of architecture, the stronger your foundation becomes for the future.
That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. Do like, share and comment and share with your fellow architecture friends. And keep following Urbanism Spinning. I'll be back with another useful video. Thank you.